It's no secret that your email list is one of your biggest business assets. Not only does your business newsletter provide you with a way to warm up leads, but it also allows you to retain contact with people who may eventually hand you cold, hard cash. Getting this part of my marketing right early on allowed me to build a thriving membership business, quit my job, and travel around the world for well over a decade. Today I want to walk you through the 4 core elements you need to have in place in order to effectively grow a high-value email newsletter. But before that, I want to make a request to you personally. If you get value out of this type of content, then please take a moment right now and subscribe, because that's the best way for you to tell me how to keep producing it. Okay, core element number 1. The best way to grow your newsletter is to have a great newsletter. This sounds like boring advice that everyone gives, but hear me out, because there are a number of factors that you have to have in place for your ideal customer to see your newsletter as truly valuable. It's not enough to offer what you think is valuable. It has to be seen as valuable to your target prospect. And for that, you really need to understand exactly what your prospect wants, what they don't, their goals, what really causes them pain, known as their pain point, so you can craft an email newsletter that really appeals to them. This makes all the difference in the world. Let's say that you run a yoga membership site helping people with mental health. I'll assume that you've done the hard work of knowing who buys from you, why, and the other critical details relevant to their purchase behavior. Put yourself in the shoes of your ideal customer for a moment. You're a customer and really into yoga for stress relief. You find a piece of content on social media and click through to read the article. Partway down, you see an opt-in box promoting a newsletter and have a decision to make. Will you opt into the newsletter or not? Your default response is to ignore the offer because you see dozens of offers each and every day, and there's no way you can sign up for most of them without being buried in emails. This offer calls on readers to stay up to date with new articles, but you don't have time to fish through article titles in your inbox every single week to see which ones may have value for you and you should click through to read. So you skip the opt-in box and skim through the rest of the article looking for value. Now, what if the opt-in box offered quick and easy solutions to stress relief with yoga? Remember, stress is a major pain point in your life, and yoga is how you're trying to address it. What if the offer was to provide you with 3 highly impactful 5-minute breath routines shown to relieve stress by 50%? And what if it offered variations of those routines each month so that you wouldn't get bored of doing the same thing each and every day? Or better yet, what if the newsletter provided a series of more advanced routines that would relieve stress by 75% over time? Obviously, that sort of newsletter is much more appealing to you as a yoga practitioner interested in reducing stress. So you're much more likely to sign up for it. And it should be much more appealing to you as a business owner as well, because you'll end up with far more qualified leads in your newsletter than you otherwise would have. And this means more opportunity to sell additional content or community access. In my experience, the most appealing newsletters for prospects are the ones that can solve their pain point. Remember, that's the thing in their life that's causing them a lot of pain that you can solve for them. But there are 3 other newsletter focuses that prospects can find really appealing. First, the newsletter can help your target prospect make money. This is especially appealing in the financial space, and I do this with Event Driven Daily. I offer prospects a list of securities that fit a specific approach to investing that may help them earn good stock returns. Second, the newsletter can help someone save money. Maybe this is a newsletter that provides prospects with alerts about crazy sales in the fashion niche. Or maybe the newsletter partners with brands to offer discounts on accommodation for frequent flyers. Third, the newsletter can help someone save time. We're all busy, so if you can help someone save time through your newsletter, that's extremely appealing. My Event Driven Daily newsletter does 2 of these, helping people make money and save time, because they would otherwise have to go out and find these stocks themselves. If you can craft a newsletter that helps your prospect achieve 2 or 3 of these and solve their pain point, then you're really well on your way to creating a highly valuable newsletter for your target customer and ramping up your newsletter signups. Core element number 2. Ensure the newsletter attracts your ideal clients. This should go without saying, but you don't want to grow your newsletter just to grow your newsletter. You want to grow your newsletter so that you have more high quality leads to sell to. That means that you don't just want to build a newsletter that will have massive appeal in your industry. You want to build a newsletter that has massive appeal to your ideal customer. And you want to make sure that your newsletter is highly relevant to the product or service that you're selling. I did this for my website, Event Driven Daily, by understanding the key pain points that my prospects had in crafting a newsletter that helped address that, and that was consistent with my business. Event Driven Daily is a special situation stock investing membership site. One of the key frustrations that many people have in the niche is not having a great place to uncover and keep track of all the special situations announced each month. So I put together a newsletter that sends a list of these special situations to subscribers each month, saving them hours of work. And since my website is focused on providing insight and research into particular special situation stock opportunities, the newsletter brings in the exact type of leads that I want to sell to. There's a high degree of consistency there. So when crafting your newsletter, don't just aim to build an appealing one. Aim to build an appealing one that brings in your ideal prospect and is highly consistent with what you sell. Number 3, leverage your existing audience. If you already have a website that's getting traffic or recording a podcast that gets a good number of downloads, this is obviously where you need to market your newsletter. Start with crafting a simple ad for your newsletter. For websites, this can be an opt-in box like I mentioned above that you embed in your high traffic articles. It can also be a pop-up box if you're fine with more aggressive marketing. For podcasts, this would be a voice clip that you insert into the recording that tells people to click through to join your newsletter. In a video, you probably want some graphics to go along with the call to action. Speaking of which, if you're a membership business founder and struggling to grow your sales or reduce your workload, take a moment right now and hit the subscribe button, because each week I walk you through an actionable strategy or tactic to help you improve revenue or help you reduce your workload. I've developed a lot of these strategies and tactics through over 15 years running membership websites, and I want to share them with founders like you. These are practical insights that I wish I had when I first started, but had to learn the hard way. Best of all, it's completely free. So take a moment right now to subscribe, because I'll help you become far more profitable and save a lot of time and frustration. Make sure that each ad has a call to action. You need to tell them what to do, how to do it, and why. It's not enough just to tell them about your newsletter. You need to tell them what you're offering, where to submit their email address, and what's in it for them. Be bold here, because it's far more effective. You want to say something like, "We will save you dozens of hours each month." And the more specific you can get, the better. And as an added bonus, use the word "because" after telling them to subscribe. I don't know why this is, but psychologists have found that it significantly boosts compliance. So you should see more opt-ins if you use it. Notice how I told you to subscribe because I'll help you become far more profitable and save a lot of time and frustration. That "because" was intentional. Now, are you subscribed yet? If not, subscribe now, because you would really make my day. In terms of placement, the longer your content goes on for, the more you'll lose people consuming your content. You see the most consumption at the start of an article, podcast, or video, and then people slowly trail off by clicking the back button or pausing the video and never coming back to it. So make sure to include your ad closer to the beginning of the content than the end. Actually, I do both, because the most engaged people will be the ones reading till the end, and I want to make sure that I give these people another chance to subscribe if they haven't done so already. Core element number 4, offer other sorts of content. Everybody has a strength when it comes to content production. For me, it's article writing, not videos or podcasts. So I spend a lot of my time writing articles to bring people to my websites, then fit our opt-in boxes on our articles to get people to join the newsletter. This has worked very well so far, but lately I've been branching out, which has really helped increase our newsletter growth rates. For Event Driven Daily, I've started doing interviews and posting them on YouTube and sharing them on social media. The traffic to them has been good, but what I really didn't count on was the large wave of signups that we've seen. I knew that we were going to see email newsletter signups increase, but not by the number that we saw. At some point, the amount of growth that you'll see in any one marketing area will be tapped out. You'll hit that 80-20 point where you have to start doing substantially more work to increase the number of opt-ins coming in. At that point, it may be better to shift to a different marketing channel. You may find that there is a whole ocean of prospects reachable in marketing channels that you didn't spend time in, and that would be really happy to hear from you. So think about what sort of channels you may be good at and go from there. You don't have to do something that doesn't come natural to you because everybody else is starting to. Just think about where your ideal prospect hangs out and how else you can reach them. Then spend a few months creating content in those channels and see what the results are. You may find that you've tapped into another vein of gold. If not, you can always try something else. Look, growing your newsletter isn't rocket science. You don't need any magical tactics or strategies, and you don't have to pay for signups. You just need to do a few essential things very well. Get that right, and you're going to see a good number of signups in your niche. So focus on understanding exactly what your target customer wants, the pain points, frustrations, goals, desires, and any other factors relevant to their purchase decisions in your niche. And once you have that figured out, spend your time thinking up what you could focus your newsletter around that your ideal prospect would think is highly valuable and would be willing to pay for. Make sure that it's consistent with what you plan to sell. Then get your offer out in front of them as best you can, focusing on placing opt-in boxes near the start or at the end of your content. It's really that easy. Think of the first three as needing to shoot an arrow through multiple hoops in order to hit the target. Value in the eyes of your ideal prospect, a focus aligned with what you want to sell, wisely leveraging your existing audience. With these in place, you'll be able to fill your newsletter with good prospects much faster, but miss one and you're not likely to do well. Now, if you've done all this already, but you're still not getting many signups, then you need to figure out if you have a content problem or an offer problem. If you carefully assess the focus of each piece of content and find articles or podcasts that are not really niche focused or don't speak to your target prospect, then you need to either revamp them or start producing more tailored content. If, on the other hand, you're producing niche relevant content that appeals to your target buyer and you're seeing a decent amount of traffic, then you probably need to reassess the value proposition you're making in your newsletter. And if you're doing all of this already but want to take your newsletter growth to the next level, then make sure to hit that subscribe button below, because next week I'll be walking you through the advanced tactics that you can employ to spark a renaissance of growth in your business.